Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies, President of the Institution of Engineers Kenya, Chair of the Engineering Board of Kenya, Chair of the Women Engineers Chapter, Ms. Christine Ogut, distinguished delegates and speakers, and my friends. I'm so pleased to be speaking here this morning at the opening of the third Women Engineers Summit at the 27th IEK Engineering Conference being held this week. I am pleased to represent the World Federation of Engineering Organizations as its immediate past president. The Federation has as its members some 100 professional engineering institutions from around the world, representing more than 30 million individual engineers, men and women. I am pleased and proud that the Institution of Engineers Kenya is an important national member of the Federation. The World Federation of Engineering Organizations is recognized by the United Nations and its agencies and international governmental and non-governmental organizations and by national governments as an important and respected voice for all matters relating to engineering and especially the important issues that the world now faces today that require engineering solutions, including climate change, sustainable cities, the need for renewable sources of energy at an effective price, and to deal with growing populations around the world. During my term as president of World Federation of Engineering Organizations, I developed the vision and the narrative of the important role of engineers and engineering in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. Every one of the Sustainable Development Goals requires engineers and requires engineering. I'm so pleased that this vision and narrative has been taken up by professional engineering institutions around the world, including in Africa and by the Federation of African Engineering Organizations, another important international member of the Federation. In this work, women have an important role in advancing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Women hold up half the sky, and we need more women engineers to help us in this important work. We need more national and international efforts to promote the role of engineers and engineering as an important career, both to boys and to girls, and to inform the community of the important role of engineers to develop the tools and technologies to serve people, to protect our planet, and to ensure prosperity for all. It's therefore very pleasing that this summit will be discussing the important role of women engineers in a post-COVID-19 world. Women engineers around the world have had to adapt to the impact of COVID-19 during the lockdowns and manage both their personal and professional responsibilities, juggling work with caring for the sick and the elderly, and also homeschooling their children. And they have done so extremely well. In fact, some countries in Africa have high proportions of women in science and engineering, especially in research facilities. According to the United Nations Institute of Statistics, data published in 2019 shows that there are a high proportion of women researchers in these fields in some countries in Africa. 55% of researchers in science and engineering in Tunisia are women, 48% in Mauritius, 47% in Algeria, and 45% in South Africa and in Egypt. Approximately 25% of researchers in science and engineering in Kenya are in women, and the overall average across sub-Saharan Africa is 31.8%. This is higher than the world average of 29.3%. And some of the figures that I have quoted are among the highest in the world. This is very pleasing to note, and there is much to learn from the national and organizational policies in the countries with high proportions of women to understand how they have attracted and retained women in the important careers of science and engineering. We need more engineers to advance the sustainable development goals in Africa. And these figures produce a brief snapshot of the progress of women engineers in some countries and what remains to be done. As the participation and contribution of women engineers in Africa increases, it will no doubt further advance sustainable development, innovation, economic growth, and prosperity. While women have been adversely affected by the COVID-19 lockdowns, many have made important contributions, including in the search for the virus, the development of the vaccine, and the design and manufacture of personal protective equipment to protect medical staff. And there is more work to be done now that vaccines are emerging as viable products in terms of the manufacturing and distribution of these vaccines, including refrigeration systems. I'm looking forward to the various discussions to be held at the summit today. You have featured many women engineers from industry, from universities, from government, and from UNESCO. I'm sure that these discussions will result in very useful ideas and solutions and very important conclusions. I wish you all the very best for a successful day, and I look forward to the outcomes that will be achieved. Thank you.